We're going to take this frozen, hard as a rock, 12-pound turkey, brine it, smoke it, and make it taste every bit as good as those 250 a pound turkeys. That's this time on Well, the first step to making this a beautiful turkey is to thaw it. These things are large and take up a lot of room in the refrigerator. Well, luckily I have a dedicated refrigerator for thawing frozen objects. Good rule of thumb is for every 5 pounds the turkey is, it needs 24 hours to thaw. This is a 12-pound turkey, so that means it'll take 3 days or 72 hours to thaw. So I'll see you in 3 days. Okay, the bird is thawed, sitting over there on the table, waiting to be brined. For this brine, we need 2 gallons of substances. We're going to make a brine, which is basically a brine is a saltwater solution. In this case, we're going to have a gallon of vegetable stock. I've already put half of these in there. It takes 4 of these, so they're going in now. To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of salt. I'm using kosher salt. A half a cup of brown sugar. They're all right here. Here's my cup of salt and half a cup of brown sugar. I'm going to add in 1.5 tablespoons of peppercorns, and I'm also going to add 1.5 teaspoons of whole allspice berries and 1.5 teaspoons of ginger. That's about it for this. Then we're going to put it over high heat, bring it to a boil. Here it goes. Oh, and I'm going to add in some cassia, better known as cinnamon sticks. Funny, my mom doesn't like whisks, so I had 3 whisks that are now nowhere to be found. Imagine that. So I have to use a knife to do this. I can't think of any of the words tonight, so you'll have to forgive me. This will all be brought to a boil and then allowed to come to room temperature, and then it'll be put in this 5-gallon bucket with a brine bag in it, and another gallon of iced water, and allowed to brine for between 8 and 12 hours. I hear you really don't want to go much over 8 because it gets too salty, but that's how it works. So I'm going to put this on the induction heater and bring it to a boil. It's going to take a while, so we'll be back. Well, as you can see, we have achieved boilage. Man, it smells wonderful too. Okay, this is kind of fun. This is the neat thing about an induction cooker. Watch, I'll push this button and that bowl will stop almost immediately. Isn't that cool? Now we just let it come up to room temperature. Dump it in here with a gallon of iced water, and stick the turkey in. Well, here's the bird out of the stuff. You know what's wonderful about this bird?
It's so cheap, there's not even a little pop-up timer on it, which is great because guess what? Those pop-up timers, they actually have different colors for what time they, what temperature they pop up at. And they usually put a red timer in these, which means it goes to 185 degrees before it pops up. 185 on the dark meat is good. On the white meat, you want it about a 161. So you never use those pop-up timers anyway, unless they come with the blue one. If they have a blue pop-up instead of a red one, that's perfect. But this one doesn't have one. I'm going to use my trusty Maverick plug-in right above there, make sure I don't hit the bone. When the breast gets to 165, it's pretty easy guess that the legs are around 180. But I'll check them before I take it out. But here it is. It was nice of them to actually put all the stuff into a bag like that. That's kind of nice. I don't usually make gravy. Our family never really had any. There's the neck, and I didn't know about this the first time I made one, and this got cooked. Didn't seem to matter though. I mean, it got smoked. I smoked my first turkey, and so it got smoked. But that way everything is out of all the cavities. I have onions and some apples I'm going to cut up and put in here to just give it some, along with some aromatics that I thought I had laying right here, but I don't seem to. I was not prepared today. The bird actually took longer to thaw than I thought, and so I'm behind the times. I expected this to be done on Wednesday of this week, and it was so big that little refrigerator put it in froze over, and it stayed unfrozen. I mean unthawed for that. So I had to put it in a bigger refrigerator I have and get it to thaw now. So it's about a week later than I expected it to be. So I'm kind of scurrying because I wanted to get this out before, you know, Thanksgiving. Just wanted to show you the bird and tell you about those little pop-ups and how you really don't want to use them. It's cooled down to 84 degrees. That's close enough to room temperature for me. So it's now time to put this in the brine bag along with the turkey, and then a gallon's worth of ice and water. Turkey's already in the brine bag. You want to put it in breast side down, just to make sure the breasts get the most, because they're the ones that need the most salt. Okay, now get a gallon of water, put some ice in it, and this will be ready to sit overnight. Here's the other gallon of water with ice in it. Top's got a Ziploc bag on it. Top, I mean Ziploc top. It's ready for its 8 to 10 hour nap. Just gonna brine this sucker tonight, and then on the next episode we'll get it out, clean it off, inject it, smoke it, and eat it. So that's it for this edition of The Gadget Gardener. Have a good night.